The rescue called him unadoptable. A 90-pound German Shepherd pulled off a chain in a cruelty case, so afraid of people that he would flatten himself against the wall if you so much as raised a hand. Every trainer who evaluated him used the same word: dangerous. And then, at 3:04 in the morning, that dangerous dog did the one thing that made an entire family realize they had been wrong about him all along. The doorbell camera across the street caught every second of it. Bethany Cole was 27 years old, mother to a 9-month-old son named Liam, and she volunteered 2 Saturdays a month at a rescue outside Tulsa, Oklahoma. That is where she met Diesel. He had been seized 3 months earlier from a property where he had spent close to 2 years chained to a fence post with no shelter, 34 pounds underweight, with a 4-inch scar across his muzzle from something nobody wanted to guess at. The animal control officer who cut him loose said Diesel didn't bark and didn't bite. He just shook. 6 different foster homes had already turned him down. The rescue had set a date. If no one took him within 10 days, they would have to put him down. Everyone told Bethany the same thing. You have a baby, Beth. You do not bring a 90-pound abuse case into a house with a 9-month-old. Her own husband, Kyle, said it flat out. We have no idea what that dog will do. But Bethany had watched Diesel do one thing at that rescue that she could not shake. Every time a baby cried out in the lobby, the terrified, shut-down dog would lift his head and inch toward the sound. So, 4 days before his deadline, against everyone's advice, she brought Diesel home to foster. I still see you haven't subscribed, and for a dog who spent 2 years chained to a fence believing no one was ever coming, that one really stings. Do him a favor and hit that subscribe button. You need to see what he does at 3:04. The first 2 weeks were hard. Diesel would not come inside past the kitchen. He flinched at the microwave, the vacuum, a dropped spoon. He ate only when no one was watching him. Kyle kept his distance and kept his opinion to himself, but Liam changed everything. The first time Bethany set the baby on a blanket in the middle of the living room floor, Diesel, who would not let a grown adult within 6 feet of him, crept across the room on his belly, 90 pounds moving like a shadow, and lay down at the very edge of that blanket. He didn't touch the baby, he just watched him, and for the first time since the rescue, his tail moved. From that day on, wherever Liam went, Diesel followed 3 feet behind. When Liam pulled himself up on the coffee table, Diesel became a wall between him and every sharp corner. When Liam cried, the dog, who was frightened of everything, would run toward the sound instead of away from it. The abused dog and the baby understood something about each other that nobody else in that house could see. Diesel had one habit that broke Bethany's heart a little every time. At night, before he settled down, he would carry his one chew toy, a ragged blue rope, the first thing he had ever owned that was just his, and set it down 6 inches from Liam's door. Every single night, like he was leaving the baby a gift, or standing watch over the one good thing he finally had. The moment Kyle changed his mind came 5 weeks in. He came home from a 12-hour shift, exhausted and short-tempered, and without thinking, he slammed the back door. Diesel bolted and pressed himself into the corner, shaking the exact same way he had at the rescue. And it was Liam, 10 months old, barely able to crawl, who army crawled across the kitchen floor to the terrified 90-pound dog and put one tiny hand on his paw. Diesel stopped shaking. Kyle stood frozen in the doorway and watched his infant son calm a dog that 6 foster homes had given up on. He sat down on the floor that night, 5 feet away, and just talked to Diesel in a low, steady voice until the dog finally fell asleep. He never brought up rehoming him again. If Diesel is getting to you, you already know you're exactly who this channel is for, and I promise you the part at 3:04 is worth staying for. By the 3rd month, Diesel was a different dog. He had started sleeping in the hallway, right between the master bedroom and the nursery, like he had appointed himself the one line no danger was ever going to cross. The same dog that 6 foster homes rejected and every trainer called dangerous had become the softest thing in Bethany's whole house. The same 90 pounds that used to shake at a dropped spoon now slept 4 feet from a baby's crib every single night. Bethany was sure she had rescued him. She was about to find out it was the other way around. It was a Thursday in November, 3:04 in the morning. The house was dead asleep. What no one knew was that behind the wall of the laundry room, an overloaded outlet had been quietly overheating for hours. The first living thing in that house to know was Diesel. Bethany woke to 90 pounds of German Shepherd throwing himself against her bedroom door, barking a sound she had never heard him make. Not fear, not a warning, pure alarm. She opened the door to a hallway already going gray with smoke. The air was hot and thick, and she could hear the fire crackling somewhere behind the walls. The smoke detector still had not gone off, and Diesel did not run for the exit. He ran straight for the nursery. Bethany snatched Liam out of the crib just as the first alarm finally began to scream, and Diesel herded them both, shoving against her legs, turning her away from the smoke-filled back hall and toward the front door, until all three of them stumbled out onto the freezing lawn. The fire department arrived in 8 minutes. The captain told Bethany the fire had been burning inside that wall long enough that they had maybe 4 minutes left before the hallway would have been impassable. The doorbell camera across the street caught the whole thing. A 90-pound dog dragging an entire family out of a burning house at 3:04 in the morning. The dog everyone had called dangerous. They lost the laundry room and half the kitchen. They lost nothing that could not be rebuilt. Bethany read later that dogs who survive severe neglect often become hypervigilant. They learn to notice the smallest change in the world around them, because once, noticing was the only thing that kept them alive. Diesel had smelled a fire behind a closed wall while an entire family slept. He had done for that family the one thing no one had ever done for him. He stayed. Diesel is not a foster anymore. Bethany signed his adoption papers 3 days after the fire, in a hotel room, with a borrowed pen. Today, Liam is 2 years old, and Diesel is his shadow, his pillow, and his self-appointed bodyguard. He still sleeps in the hallway between the bedrooms every single night. He still runs toward the sound of crying instead of away from it, and that 4-inch scar across his muzzle, the one from a life he will never fully forget, is now something Liam traces with one finger while they nap. The mark of a dog who was thrown away 6 times and stayed to save the family that finally kept him. The dogs the world calls dangerous are so often just the dogs the world has already failed. They don't forget the kindness that saves them. They spend the rest of their lives trying to pay it back. So if you ever find yourself standing in front of the broken one, the scarred one, the one everyone swears is too far gone, look a little closer. Sometimes that is the exact one who ends up saving your life. 6 foster homes called Diesel dangerous and handed him back. Bethany took him anyway, and he pulled her entire family out of a burning house. Would you have taken a chance on him, or would you have believed the warnings? Tell me in the comments.